you still looking for a sport quad, looking to get into the sport quad game, well, this video is going to be all about my 3-year ownership with my 2021 Yamaha Raptor 700R with a big 3 and a tune. Just gonna this video here, gonna go over what's great about the Raptor, what's bad about the Raptor, certain things to keep in mind when considering such a large purchase like this. Very, very, very good machine. No issues with this bike throughout my ownership. The only time I had issues with it was simply when I was just running the Dynojet programmer plugged into the bike, more or less untuned at that point, just kind of like the stock reflash when it was a stock form. Other than that, have never had an issue with this machine once. Super dialed in Yamaha 686cc engine. This is the 2021 Canadian 700R model right here, and it is an absolute beast. Keep in mind, they do not come off the lot set up like this. So I'm going to get into mods, things I like, things I dislike, what I would change, and just overall what it is like owning a Raptor 700R. All right, so just getting into things right off the get-go. Why I purchased a 2021 Yamaha Raptor 700R. Bought this machine brand new as a gift to myself. I'd never financed anything in my life and wanted to take my credit to the next level. So in December 2021, I had rode a TRX 450R. I had a, believe it was, don't quote me on this, it's going off memory, I believe it was an 06 TRX 450R. It was jetted, it had a Duncan Racing Fat Boy 4 exhaust, had a friggin' gnarly sounding K&N intake onto it, and the machine worked very, very well, but fell in love with the sport quads, fell in love with them in general. Anyway, after a while, the maintenance on the 450s, and when things would get out of my hands at the time for the mechanical experience level I had, 450 just became a pain in the ass. Unless you are extremely mechanically inclined, have the patience of a saint, I wouldn't touch a 450 quad ever again in my life. Do not do it. Everyone I know with a 450 hates their life. And that being said, started researching different things and wanted something that was a bit more. So when my 450 was gone, I was in the market for something different. Came across some used 700s, and at the time I just wanted brand new. You know, it was my first Yamaha product that was brand new, had never owned something like that, and I took delivery of this bike right before Christmas. I believe it was December 4th of 2021. Anyway, bring the bike home, everything's great for like the first, I haven't rode at this point, I just ran a coating on it, or graphene coating on it, I believe. Anyway, first kind of hand things that were surprising to me, to be 100% honest, I was disappointed with the power of the bike. It just felt very restricted for brand new, and overall, I was like, something is just not, like, something doesn't feel like the 450 did. I'm like, how would a 686, horsepower wise compared to the 450, I just was like, wow, I was expecting a bit more, to sum it up. Anyway, loved the way this machine handled, loved the way it drove. It was very, very good in corners, but the only thing, they're tippy, and that's something you should be aware of. If you're used to that 450R wide stance, overall feel, these are tippy, and be careful with them brand new, because it's something to get used to. Anyway, you know, it took me about like a month to get used to how this machine felt. Also going, you know, to something that was direct injection at the time was also something to get used to as well. Set overall feel from letting off the gas between first and second. It was all, there was a bunch of things that were kind of something to get used to. Anyway, moving forward with this machine, here back in, I had it for a year, and I started to get very, very bored with the power of this bike. Like, it always felt like it could be more than what it was. Started doing some research, and anyway, got into the point where I wanted to do a big 3. Take it from 40 horsepower to, like, you know, mid 50s and possibly low 60s, and I'll get into that next. But anyways, yes, so a year, oh, 2 years actually. No, year and a half into it, don't really matter, but anyway, decided I would go with the Barker Big 3 kit, which had the Fuel Customs intake, full Barker exhaust, and the Dynojet Power Commander 6. Anyway, she hit the dyno and she made 55 horsepower. Anyway, that completely transformed the machine. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. If you want to buy 700R, put a Big 3 on it, or don't buy one at all. That's the honest side of things. I've upgraded some other things, like she's full Team Alba. Don't you worry about that. Mud light tires all around, because we live in the backwoods here of Nova Scotia. But you know, it has a Kemimoto rear grab bar. Highly recommend Nerf bars. Team Alba. Got the Team Alba case saver there, and nice CNC timing plugs. You know, these bikes, I've about 150 hours onto it, and I've done 6 valve adjustments. The oil's changed every 20 hours with the filter. Air filter, obviously. Chains cleaned and re-greased. Look after my sprockets the best of my ability. Anyway, I keep it pretty clean. This is after seeing a backwoods ride here the last few days, but you know, it really transformed the bike with the mods I did, made it into something different, and you know, handled very, very, very nicely. But highly recommend doing that. But I think the only con is how the machine's set up from factory. It feels so restricted. It runs so lean. Also, like, the AIS will cause a super annoying backfire. I've had an AIS block-off plate for a little while and just haven't got to the point of installing it, and it's somewhere in the building and I've lost that. But you know, the only things I could pick on this, like, this has been rode in backwoods. Here, from shifting, has worn that off the plastics. You know, not the end of the world. It's just a decal here, but you know, for a 14K toy, brand new, they're, you know, you shouldn't see crap like that, right? Like, but anyway, it you know, that was even coated. It still wore off. Mods other than that, I can't think of too much. Spark plug every second oil change is my rule on it. You know, the coolant's been changed out on it. Other than that, Amsoil, you know, all its life. Motel and Amsoil, combination of the both. They're easy to work on. The valves are easy to adjust. You know, I ran a UNI, sorry guys, UNI air filter on it when it was more or less stock. It was the only mod I had on it. But other than that, I'm trying to think what bad I could say about it. Tippy, restricted stock, you know, keep your arms greased and that sort of stuff. Other than that, you know, they're good. They're good machines. Like, they will run so well if you take care of them. The shocks are all adjustable, so you can set them up however you'd like. You know, other than that, this is a great bike. But the only thing, like, we had some bad flooding here in Nova Scotia, and it is just to the point that you have no ground clearance on these. That's another con. You have no ground clearance. If you live in rough woods, God, you got to think outside the box to get around certain sections. Don't touch mud with these. I never have, but don't try it. You can get through stuff if you need to, but they, you know, they don't like the mud. But, you know, like, damn, like, after the big three, you know what you have, and they are just wicked. Like, I wouldn't go with any other sport quad than a Raptor 700 ever again in my life. You know, I would probably keep this long term if I wasn't interested in a Grizzly, but there's a lot of sentimental value with this machine here. You know, like, for the 3 years of backwoods abuse, it's just held up so well. You know, this is the type of machine that, you know, you just snap out of the woods, and if there's traffic coming, everyone forgets how to drive because they're looking at this beast. You know, it turns heads. It's super potent after a tune. Like, you know, you can take off on gravel and just bake right into fourth like nothing. You know, they shift really good. Do not recommend running Yamalube in them, but that's just my personal opinion. You see guys with issues who run Yamalube, and I tell you, it saw Motel, Lucas for a bit, and Amsoil here most recently here in the last, after the tune and that sort of stuff. But treat them well, and they will treat you well.